Guys, welcome to Ask a Puppy Trainer episode 98. We're getting close to the big 100. And as you guys all know, if you've been here before, I don't do very good with long questions because I read them verbatim. Bethany is good at paraphrasing. I'm not. I'm a man. We don't do that very well. Okay, so I'm going to start with a couple shorties just to kind of get us into a rhythm. So we have tips for potty training in an apartment. This is from one of our videos. This is one of the questions that someone posted for it. After how long can I leave my puppy at home alone for 4 to 5 hours? And I know a few of us, oh, okay, Wilson's done.
Hold on. Pause. Okay, we're good.
Here you go.
Oh.
Wilson's done. Okay. His bites are getting harder.
All right. Okay.
Okay, perfect. All right. So what it really comes down to, we're having, okay. Hopefully everyone can hear me clearly. If you guys are having trouble with any of the audio, please make a comment saying that you can't hear me and we'll try to fix it for you. Perfect. Okay, so when you're training the puppy to be in the crate, it's not an overnight thing, it's an incremental. Oh, TikTok or Instagram, we lost you. Hopefully you're back already. So it's an incremental thing that you can use to build. So you put a dog who's, let's say, 12 weeks old in the crate for an hour and a half with 30 minutes out of it. You build them up to that, and then when you start taking them out for potty, you realize that they're holding it longer, and you're doing more of those repetitions of you take them out for potty, a couple minutes outside, they don't potty, you bring them back inside, put them in the crate for 15 to 30 minutes. That's actually what I use as my tell of whether they can hold it longer or hold it less. If I take them out there and I'm finding that they spend the whole 2 minutes sniffing around, whereas before they pottied really quickly, I'll try upping their schedule by 30 minutes to an hour. So then by the time they hit 4 months old, 5 months old, 6 months old, they can do the 4 to 5 hours in the crate. I know a lot of dogs that can do 8 hours in the crate, a full work day. And sometimes they hire like a rover to come out to do like a little potty halfway through the day. Rover's one of the services we use that they'll come in, they'll let your dog out for potty, play with them for 5 minutes, get them a little bit of exercise, put them back in the crate. Sometimes they even do like a dog walk. And that's a really, really beneficial service that we use out in LA. And I know they're in other places as well for you guys to check out. But my way of telling if a dog can hold it is I start extending the time. And if I get a potty accident in the crate, I say, hey, sorry about that, no worries. We'll drop it down by 30 and eventually get them to the point to where they can hold it for 4 to 5. That's your goal, 6 to 8 if that's your goal. And I don't usually do more than 8 hours because it's quite a long time for your puppy to hold their bladder for. But yeah, young puppy, less. Medium-sized puppy or middle-aged puppy, you can do a little bit more. All right, what leash to use with your 12-week-old puppy? So this is another one of our videos. One person wrote, I believe I've done almost everything wrong with my 9-week-old pup. Any way I can reverse it. Hey, he's free roaming the apartment. He hates his crate. He won't stay in it without whining. He bites and won't listen at all. I believe I've given him too much freedom. Please tell me I can reverse this and get him to listen. You absolutely can, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Not without our online school, as Ricky tells us from the side. Yeah, you do have a pathway ahead of you. You've basically gotten into a routine. So I believe that a routine, like a full-blown problem, starts with an issue that develops into a problem, and a problem develops into a habit. I'm willing to bet that your dog has a habit for every one of the issues that you just mentioned. So you can absolutely work them through it. If you guys want more help, we have an online school. Go to puppyacademy.com. You might have to scroll around a little bit, look for the online banner. There's a really thin one on top that you can click. It'll give you a little bit more information. We even do 4 p.m. lives on Wednesday as well, where there's a full hour where you get a little bit more you get to ask questions, have them answered. There's a little bit more priority towards your questions alone. But yes, you can reverse it. Give you some information now is use the crate, get them on a tight schedule. You can DM us on Instagram. We can send you like a little skeleton for a schedule that you can play around with. But when it comes down to it, when your dog is in the crate and they're whining, they're crying, they're barking, you've made sure not to give them too much water. You've made sure to regulate the food. So you know it's not for bladder or for the other stuff, the back end stuff, and then they can stay in that crate for a little bit longer. They cry. It's them demanding to get out. If you ever acknowledge that demand and let them out while they're crying, it gets worse. So you really got to find and make sure that you guys are keeping consistent. And it's not just one person, it's everyone in your household. When they come out of the crate, it's always on leash. And if my dog has been struggling with zero structure, I'll be holding that leash or tie it to my belt loop. I can tether it to a piece of furniture that they can't drag. But wait a second, guys. Sorry, TikTok. Wait for Instagram to come back up. Our Instagram's back up. You can tie that leash to a piece of furniture that they can't drag, usually 2 to 3 times their body weight. And then that's another thing that they have to stay next to. But you have to work on a lot of supervised separation and balance training. Balance training meaning that when your dog comes out of the crate, you're not doing, puppy come, yeah, puppy sit, yeah. It's puppy come, good, food. Sit, down, good, food. If your puppy is already heavily overstimulated, this is what we call differential dog training, which means that if your puppy's already up here, super amped up, I gotta find my way down here, come, sit, good. I'm more neutral until I can bring my puppy down a bit. And then you go up and you find that balance of puppy come, good, sit, good. You kind of find that in between, that middle ground of what your puppy needs and what you need from your puppy, and then you train your puppy through that method until they create more of a connection with you. Because half the things that you do with your puppy is just bonding. So if your puppy knows that you're the leader of your household, they look to you for all the things that they want. So instead of demanding it by nipping, demanding it by jumping and barking, they start earning it by training and working for you, not against you. It's kind of a long explanation. Sorry, short question, long explanation. All right, and now we have another video. It says option 2. I'm guessing this is one of our other videos where we talk about walking. So have your pup sit when you see another dog approaching, using food to keep their attention. What? Instagram's having a good. We tell them to all get off the Wi-Fi, please. There we go. Give them a second, guys. It looks like we got everyone back on. And so you have 2 options. You have your pup sit when you've seen another dog approaching, or and then you use food to keep their attention on you until the other dog passes. And the comment I got was, what about when food isn't a value? What a wonderful question. So when food isn't valuable, you have to create value with food. How do we do that? As long as your dog is a proper weight, not underweight. They can be a little bit overweight, and it's not a big deal because they're going to lose a little bit anyways. And when you start giving value to food, that means that every day you've eliminated treats. All of their training is with their kibble, with their meal. I take a handful of kibble, their meal, their lunch, breakfast, dinner, whatever it is. I usually try to use the meal first. I know has the highest value, usually breakfast when they wake up. And I'll take that kibble, I'll put it in a little pouch, and I'll try to train my dog with the kibble. If they do not want it, that's okay. They're not going to eat that meal. For lunch, I'll train with the same kibble. For dinner, I'll train with the same kibble. They still don't want it because they want treats for it instead. They go back in their crate. They don't eat for 1 day. Second day, third day, most of the time they'll eat by the second and third day because they're getting hungry. So their drive is starting to build. Their appetite is starting to build. And in association to the food, the meal that you're giving, you're creating a connection of to work for kibble is to work for that. Do I use high reward treats? Sometimes. If I have a fearful dog, I have a, maybe not aggressive dog. If I have a fearful dog that's just afraid of life in general, and I need just that little bit of extra leverage working in a new environment that has been challenging before that I couldn't have done, I might go from kibble to the high reward treat in that environment, but work them back down to the low reward kibble when I leave that environment. So it's like I save the good stuff, the good, for the challenging stuff. And I use the normal food for everything else. But yeah, you definitely want to build more value with the food, with the kibble or the food or whatever you're using. And I know Bethany would definitely agree with me on that one because she's more of an advocate for that than even I am. So that's a big one for us. Any questions coming in, Kimberly? We don't have too many questions today, guys. So if you guys have any questions, please.
Can you remind them how to submit questions?
You just type it out.
Add them in the comments below.
Oh, if you guys want to submit a question, add them to the comments below. I thought it was like some trick question or something. And if you guys ever want to add a question that we read that's printed out, you guys can add it through our YouTube, our Instagram, even our TikTok. We look at all 3 social media platforms. And we try to pull as many of the good ones as we can. All right, now we got a long one. All right, so this is from Lainey. We just got our 9-week-old Australian Shepherd puppy this week. Eventually, we'd like to use him. We'd like to use a dog doorbell to let us know when he needs to go outside. I'm not talking about those sleigh bell type doorbells, but the wireless doorbell that a dog pushes, or in this case, will step on when he wants to go out, and steps on the outside one when he wants to come in. I bought the doorbell thinking my Shih Tzu would learn to push it to help us teach the puppy. The Shih Tzu caught on quickly upon the bell receiver, but doesn't have enough strength to make it ring. How long before we should start teaching a puppy to use a dog doorbell when he wants to go outside? We don't want to start with this sleigh bell type doorbell because we'd never be able to hear it if we're on the other side of the house. Thank you, you guys are great. Love it. Okay. So when I introduce a doggy doorbell, whether it's the sleigh type bells or it's a little push button bell or push button doorbell, whatever it is, you need to first build up bladder control and the ability to hold your dog's bladder for a longer period of time before you introduce any of these tools. A dog that gets a doorbell introduced right away trains the human or their schedule rather than us training them on ours. What I mean by that is they go ring the bell, ring, 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 human heel, let's go human, open the door, I gotta go potty. So that doesn't teach the dog to hold their bladder for longer, it just teaches them to train us of when to push that bell. And then a lot of times too, we also see them ring the bell to go outside and just go play. There's a lot of different things that can happen. Preferably, and our preference as dog trainers is you don't use a bell until a dog is about 8 to 12 months old. And for the first 8 months of training, you teach your dog how to go in the crate, hold their bladder for 2 to 3 hours in the crate, come out, have an opportunity to go potty on command, and then come in for free time. So let me break that down a little bit more because it looks like we got time today. So I have my dog, I just got my brand new 9-week-old puppy. I need to teach them how to be crate trained and hold their bladder for a prolonged period of time. Otherwise, they're going every 30 minutes, and most of the time that's probably going to be in your home. So I put them in the crate for 1 hour. I bring them out of the crate for 30 minutes. After 1 hour in the crate, I take them out. I use the threshold door of the crate to make sure they can stay and wait. I open the door, I put on a leash and a harness. I carry or walk them outside to my potty area through the same door that you're going to want them to ring one day to the same patch that you're going to want them to go to when they ring that bell. I set them down on the ground and I wait 2 to 3 minutes and I stand there like a tree. I don't move around the yard. I'm not chasing them down. I'm literally like this, 4 to 6 foot leash. They can go left, they can go right, they can go forward, they can go up, they can go wherever they want. And after 2 to 3 minutes, if they go potty, they get a good potty the minute they go, and then we bring them back inside the house for training, walk, and play, and supervised separation. If they do not go though, we actually take them back inside the house and we put them back in the crate. For a young 9-week-old puppy, probably about 5 to 10 minutes, 5 to 15 minutes. You got to play around with it. If you get an accident at 15, try the 5 next. And after that 5 to 15 minutes, I take them back outside for another potty. So I'm teaching them how to look to me as the person that helps them hold their bladder longer. You're teaching bladder control. So when they're 8 months old, they can hold their bladder 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. And instead of them going that bell every 2 hours, they go to it every 4 to 6 hours. And if you notice that they're only going it to go outside and play, Instagram is gone again. Sorry, TikTok, you're with us. Instagram is back. So now when you want them to hold it for longer, they're not going that bell every couple hours. They're going to it when they actually need to go, which is that longer period of time because you've taught them to hold it longer. So that would be my opinion. And the bell coming inside the house, I don't know if I'd use a bell coming back inside the house because that still dictates they decide how long they stay out there, and that creates a lot of territorial behaviors, being outside in a open yard, seeing people go by all throughout the day. That is one of the greatest ways to create a territorial guard dog. And guard dogs that aren't professionally trained through protection trainers to be guard dogs. Instagram again, sorry TikTok, bear with us. Instagram hates us today. All right, and people who don't specifically train guard dogs tend to have dogs that bite the wrong people when they come in the yard. So I know that kind of went down the rabbit hole. My recommendation, don't have a bell to come back inside the house. You guys decide that for them. And when you get ready to introduce that potty bell, make sure that they can already hold their bladder 4 to 6 hours before doing that. I'm not talking about overnight. It's completely different. I'm talking about daytime in the crate, 4 to 6 hours. And I don't know a single 9-week-old puppy that would be able to do that. So you guys probably got another 4 to 6 months ahead of you. And that is probably the best way of doing it, in my opinion. All right, my rescue dog. This is from Fly Tati Drina. Very nice. Okay. My rescue dog will continuously pee in his crate if I leave him. Doesn't matter how many times he just went out. I don't know what to do anymore. So that was a comment on one of our videos, and this is an additional comment on that video. My dog is a rescue dog. He's 2.5, and I just had a baby after having the dog for 3 months. But every time I leave home, he pees and poops, even after walks. I don't know why, but feels like he's lashing out and seeking attention. But I have all carpet in my house, so it really sucks. I don't want to take him back to the shelter, but I don't know what to do anymore. Well, if you have all carpet, it sounds like he's not in a crate when you're leaving. So he's 2.5 years old, have you done crate training with them? If you have not done crate training with them and you want to keep this dog, you're probably going to need to crate train him. What a crate does is it confines him to one spot, and it teaches him how to relax and settle when he's in that crate. A lot of times what I see happen is when women are pregnant, the dog spends a lot of time around them. And it's weird. You probably let out pheromones that the dog can pick up, and they want to protect you. So now baby is born, and we don't have as much time to spend with the dog, but the dog has gotten used to it and maybe even developed a little bit of separation anxiety towards you after the baby's born, and the dog is spending more time away from you because you're spending time with the baby in the nursery. Very likely as your dog is, I don't want to say having a temper tantrum, but there's a lot of confusion, and now you're seeing the results of that separation anxiety. What I would recommend is get you on a tight schedule. Dog goes in the crate, comes out for potty, gets free time. Free time is very structured, and it looks like if dad is there, dad or partner is probably going to be doing a majority of the work with the dog, and then you guys find opportunities to switch off to kind of keep that relationship built of training with a work-life balance. Your work is baby. Your play is puppy. So you, or what, 2.5-year-old dog. So you kind of have to find a balance of spending time with your baby, training your dog, having your dog in the crate when you're with your baby, and they almost are on completely separate schedules. I just had another woman who asked me the same question about 2 months ago. They had a similar situation. The dog had actually nipped the baby on the foot and drew blood, so they were very worried about it. They were worried that the dog was aggressive towards the baby. It wasn't that the dog was trying to play with the baby. It saw the baby as a play toy. So they did more crate. Anytime the dog was out of the crate, they happened to time it for when the baby napped. Baby woke up early, either mom or dad would go take care of it, someone else would stay with the dog. When the dog was in the crate, that's when they were doing a majority of things they needed to do with the baby. Dogs and babies should not coexist, just to be ultra clear. We see more issues happening with that. Like, it's the old school mentality, like pitties are nanny dogs. They're not nanny dogs, they're actually closer to protection dogs, and they've had completely different jobs throughout the upraising of pit bulls and Staffordshire Terriers and stuff. So most dogs should not be with babies. You want to create a separation, and when they get older, then you can start kind of making that gap a little bit more transparent, and then even training the dog around the baby. But yeah, more crate time, more structure, and hopefully you'll be able to keep your pup. Sarah Mosley. Hi there, we have a 12-week-old Chocolate Labrador. She did start going through the night. She did start going through the night at 10 weeks, which was great. Start going through, is that she's having an accident or she's sleeping through the night at 10 weeks, which was great, but she has started waking me up to go poop in the night again. I feed her at 7 a.m., 12 p.m., and 4 p.m. She has 250 grams of kibble soaked in water split in 3. I like this woman. I like you, Sarah. Sarah Mosley, we are friends now. You are awesome. I love this information. Bethany's going to be very jealous. She has 250 grams of kibble soaked in water split in 3. The midday feed is used for treats for training time, so not put down in bowl. She's now going out for 2 short walks a day. Now she has had her jabs. Now she, because the shots. Thanks for your help, Sarah and Sunday. All right. I like you, Sarah. You're awesome. You're fun. So 4 p.m. feeding, perfect. I'll be honest, I don't know how much grams of kibble. Will someone Google how many cups 250 grams of kibble is? And it's a chocolate lab. I need data, people. Sorry.
What, grams to what?
Grams to cups. 250 grams to cups. Let's see if I.
250 grams equals 1 cup.
Okay, equals 1 cup, and that's split up in 3 meals. Wow, that's not that much food, and you're still having accidents. That's crazy. Huh?
How old is the puppy?
It's a 12-week-old, so it's a big enough dog for a cup of food split 3 times a day. Sorry guys, we're troubleshooting, we're working out solutions. Half of dog training isn't giving you a perfect solution, it's giving you advice, you trying it, coming back and telling me if I was right or wrong, hopefully right. And then if I'm right, awesome. If not, we make a new troubleshoot. So I would say if you're still getting an accident, have you tried letting your dog bark it out recently since they've been having the accidents? And is it consistent every single night that at a certain time, that's when they have the accident? Oh, Instagram, you're killing me today, guys. Give me a second. All right. Are we getting accidents at the same time? Are we getting whining and crying at a certain time? Because if so, you are going to probably have to cut down your food a little bit more. And are you getting a potty at 4, so at 4 p.m. you feed them? When is the last time that you get your potty before bed? If I'm going to bed at 11 p.m., and my puppy has gone out at 7 p.m. and hasn't gone out since then, and they haven't pooped yet, that's a poop accident in the crate. So I would take them out at 11 p.m. right before you guys go to bed, as in you are putting on pajamas, a robe, and some slippers. You're going to your potty area and wait for them to go potty. If they don't go before you guys go to bed, and if you haven't gotten the poop between 4 and 7 or 7 and 11, like when you would actually go to bed, you're due for a poop. You need to get that poop before you go to bed. If you don't, you're going to get an accident throughout the night. So I would say try to get one final potty time throughout the night. I'm not even going to pretend like you're not on a tight schedule, because anyone that leaves me a message like this, you're using a tight schedule, which I absolutely love. There's some kind of disconnect though. So try taking your puppy out one more time before you go to bed, or whoever goes to bed last, that's the final potty they get. Are they sleeping in the crate overnight? Are they sleeping on a dog bed? Are they moving around frequently? Are they playing with toys? Is the crate too big? These are things that I think about, because if I put a dog that's 12-week-old lab, maybe 20 pounds, 25 pounds, something around there, in a crate that's meant to fit a 60-pound lab, because I didn't want to buy 2 crates because they can be very pricey, as I'm very aware, and they're pacing back and forth. They're anxious, they're nervous, they want to get out of the crate. Pacing movement creates the ability to go to the bathroom. It's like if you go for a morning run, you get home, most of the time there's something that follows that morning run and your coffee. That's maybe what's happening. So put a divider in the crate. They're mortified that I even said that. I don't have Bethany to rein me in today. You guys get free Sparky. So you guys probably need to put a divider, put something behind that divider, and cut down the amount of space that they have in the crate. Now, what other solutions can I give? Potty before bed, final potty before bed. Maybe cut down some of the food you're giving at 4 p.m. and add some of that to your noontime feeding. So they're still getting nutrition, but you're making your dinner a little bit less so they can hold it for a bit longer. Yeah, try that out. See how that works. And Sarah, depending on how that works, come back for us and let us know how it goes. I know you did say she had her last jabs, her last vaccination shots. Usually it doesn't affect the poop, but it can affect the bladder in females because it's an in-depth surgery. They're going inside of your female dog and they're doing things in there.
Vaccines.
Oh, it's fixed. I don't know. I would say try the food, try the crate stuff. Cut down the meal, get one more potty before you go to bed, and then also make sure that you have a crate that's properly sized. They should only be able to do, if my dog is this big and my crate is this big, a foot on this side, 2 feet on this side, it needs to be about here and here. Your dog should only be able to do a full circle into a down and stand up in the crate without their head hitting the top, but if they try to put their head all the way up, they're going to hit it. So that's what I would start with. Got questions? I talk too fast without Bethany. I'm a fast talker. Alrighty, so we are getting this is from Sona.m. We are getting a Goldendoodle puppy next month. Any advice? Well, I got a ton of advice. One, we have our online school that you should definitely join. I know we have a couple little promos going on right now. And then 2, get on a crate schedule. Get your home puppy proof before your puppy ever enters the house. We have a lot of, and again, I guess I'm really selling the program on this one. We have tons of videos in our program, our online program, that goes over home setup, puppy setup, socialization setup, everything, like every type of setup, leadership setup, command words to use, commands to work on, all that good stuff. Easiest way though is get a schedule. What does it say? Get ready. Someone's saying get ready. Yeah, it's a lot of work. You got to get on a tight schedule. My recommendation is crate train, and if you have a more difficult puppy when they come in, possibly hire a private trainer. If you want to get on top of it before, we have a ton of people that buy our online and they're joining our lives a week or 2 before they even get their puppy. So they're showing us on their camera their setup of their living room, what they're doing, the bedroom setup with the crate, all that good stuff. And most time we can help them troubleshoot some of the issues they're having before they even have an issue. And what I mean by that is putting your crate in your living room when you guys, your whole family spends time in there, that's not a good place for your crate. It should be in the bedroom. So if your crate was going to be in your living room, buy the online. I'll leave it there. All right. Oh, and the bear on S13. Oh, that's yeah. Okay. I won't say the name. I won't blast you. But one of our clients says try everything do everything day 1. Don't do it after you get your puppy. You want to make sure your whole setup is there. So when your puppy comes in your household, everything is already ready for her. Perfect. Is that all my questions, Kimberly? I think I went through all mine too. I talk too fast without Bethany. We never finish early when it's both of us. Okay, guys. And if we have no more questions, then I will let you guys go. Thank you guys for joining, and I'll see you guys next week. And sorry if my energy was a bit lower. I popped a rib this morning, so I'm in pain.
They followed up.
Nice. What'd they say? Okay. It definitely was going to be in my living room. There you go. All right. Thanks for the advice, everyone. So do not put in the living room because that is where you guys frequent most. A crate should be in the spot of your home that you frequent least. Because imagine, so we have a main highway called the PCH, the Pacific Coast Highway. I make the joke of it's like taking your sleeping bag, putting it on the middle of the street in the median and trying to take a nap. Foot traffic, car traffic, a homeless guy poking you in the head. You got a whole bunch of things happening out there and your puppy will not be able to sleep if there's a lot going on. Bedroom, towel, noise machine, like white noise machine, and Friends soundtrack. They all love Phoebe. I do too. She was my girl when I grew up. So that is the best possible setup for the crate setup. And then try that out. Join our online school if you'd like to, and we'll have a lot more advice for you guys next week. Take care, guys. Awkward smile time. It's way more.